Good damn morning, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. And before I get into the story of the day, we'll do a quick little story time with Uncle Jericho. Now, I was driving somewhere with my wife and my son yesterday. I don't know why, but this story popped into my head. It's from when I was about 8 or 9 years old. You know, when you have kids, when they get to certain ages, you start thinking of experiences that you had when they were your age, wondering, what their experiences and what their memories are going to be. So I was like 8 or 9, and most of my Saturday afternoons consisted of me and my brother or my cousin with my dad, doing things, cutting down trees. We had we had ranch, we had hogs and stuff, so it's getting food for them and moving them around, all this shit, right? So we had some friends of ours, actually happened to be my best friend's parents. They had these huge eucalyptus trees on their property. And where we lived, it wasn't uncommon for people to have a bunch of land. Like where I lived, the road I lived off of, it was like a 7-acre minimum. So we go over there to help cut down these eucalyptus trees. Eucalyptus trees are gigantic, like they're huge and round at the base, and it's really heavy wood. So when you're fucking with eucalyptus trees, So they're kind of on a hill. So my dad was up the hill cutting trees, or farther up the hill, and we were down the hill. And there was a big old stump from a tree that had been cut down before. This had to be like, I don't know, the size of a fucking dinner table. This stump was huge. So we're playing on this stump, and all of a sudden we hear all these limbs cracking and breaking. We look up, and there's this huge ass tree. This tree had to be like 50 feet at least. Just comes crashing down. Boom, hits the ground. And we heard it crashing through the trees. We take off running. And it landed like right by where we were. When it hit the ground, you could feel that shit in your feet. That tree was huge. So my dad's cutting up this fallen trees, cutting the limbs off and stuff and slicing it up, cutting it up. And, 8, 9, being dumb, not thinking. I go up behind him and I'm trying to get his attention. Instead of walking around in front of him where he can see me, I go behind him. Dad, I yell really loud. And he turns around, what? With the chainsaw still going. And it goes right into my pant leg and cut my pants open. You could see my leg through my pants. I was like, oh, shit. You could see. My dad wasn't easily shaken, but you could see some of the color drain out of his face when he looked down and saw and thought that he had cut my leg with that chainsaw. Like, my dad had to sit down and take a break for a few. My dad didn't break for shit other than lunch. My dad would go in noon to 1. As soon as that clock struck 1 o'clock, 1,300 hours, we were back outside finishing what we had to do. So for my dad to sit there on the tailgate of the truck and take his hat off and pat his forehead, I was like, oh shit, that must have been, I didn't really get it at that age, but now I get it. Like, my dad could have cut me, severed my damn leg just for me not thinking, not knowing, and excuse me, and going behind him to get his attention instead of going in front of him. So kids, if you have somebody using a chainsaw, go around the front, damn it. That would have been all bad. So, speaking of all bad, this is about as bad as it can get. Old Harvey Weinstein. Oh, give me some of that and I'll get you in a movie. His ass got convicted yesterday of 3rd-degree rape. And I looked it up. I was like, what the hell? What does that mean, 3rd-degree rape? What exactly does that mean? And I Googled it. And as I was Googling it, I'm like, man, I hope this doesn't come back to haunt me. But basically, 3rd-degree rape is the absence of force and the absence of threat of violence. Like, if you don't do this, I'm going to kill you. Some shit like that. Or, stop struggling, I'm going to kill you. Things of that nature. So minus that is why he got convicted of 3rd-degree rape. Now he's still facing between 5 and 29 years. And what's funny, I'll put a link to this, one of the articles in the description box about this. But the reason I picked this particular link is because the picture on there is of him going in or out of the courtroom. I can't tell, but it's him with his legal team around him, and he's using a fucking walker. I'm like, you piece of shit. You didn't have no walker when you were filling up those girls, you son of a bitch. But, you know, he's trying to get as much sympathy as he can from the court. He had to go in there with a walker. You son of a bitch, you don't need no walker. Get out of here. I was like, what the fuck? Homeboy had a walker. And then I read this morning that he was hospitalized with shortness of breath and heart palpitations. How vague are those fucking diagnoses? Shortness of breath and heart palpitations. You son of a bitch. You just don't want to go to the booty house. And the judge said he needs to remain in custody until the duration of this trial. So he's not going anywhere. He's most certainly a flight risk. With that kind of money, you know he's about to hop on a plane to some extraditionary, basically going to a country where they don't extradite his ass and send him back here to face his consequences. So he's a flight risk. The judge said, your ass ain't going nowhere. You can take that walker and keep it with you because neither you or the walker is going anywhere. So right now, he's in the hospital with shortness of breath and heart palpitations, you piece of shit. Now, obviously, if you commit these kind of crimes, you're a fucking monster and you should be put in a wood chipper feet first. I don't think we disagree on that. But I'm going to keep it really real with you right now. As far as the victims, now, if this man, I read one where he forced his way inside of a woman's apartment. Now, if you rape a woman, that's it. You're done. You're damaged goods. Nothing we can do for you. There's no fucking rehabilitation. You're a monster. You're defective. And your life needs to be removed. Period. Now, the women I'm talking to are these women who did this to get a role in a movie. You didn't have to do. How are you going to turn around and say this man sexually assaulted you when you did this shit for your own personal gain? You could have said, no, get the fuck away from me. I'll do it my way. You didn't have to do that. Now, to lay down and have sex with this dude to further your career and then he doesn't come through, you know, he, as the kids say, he ghosted you, not returning your calls, not fulfilling his promise. Yeah, that's fucked up, but that's how it is out here with the grown-ups. You knew what you were doing. You used your clam to get ahead and it didn't work. That's on you. Those people are bullshit. Those are the ones I don't agree with. Now, people say, oh, he used his power and his influence. So fucking what? That don't mean you gotta lay down and have sex with him. Because he offers you these things? He's powerful? What does that mean? So what if he's powerful and he has influence? That doesn't mean you need to bang the dude. That's the part of this I don't agree with. Yeah, for what he did and got convicted of, he did that shit, fuck him. But as far as these women getting off scot-free because he didn't give me what he told me he was going to give me, you can't turn around and call that shit sexual assault. You just got. You got bamboozled. That's your fault. That part of it I don't like. You can't just say someone sexually assaulted you because you didn't get what you wanted out of it. That's fucked up. That should be on those women. Just like the women who make false accusations against men sexually assaulting or raping them. You should get the penalty the man was going to get. You don't just get to just ride off into the sunset to want a brawly style and nothing happens to you. Fuck that. You potentially destroyed somebody's life. Just the accusations of that. Just them having to explain to their family and their friends, I didn't do this shit. That's fucked up. That's equally fucked up. You don't destroy somebody's life and reputation because whatever your dumb reason is. I didn't want to look like a slut or whatever. If you accuse somebody of sexual assault or rape and it turns out they didn't do it, and you're a fucking liar, you need to get the penalty that they would have got if they actually raped or sexually assaulted you. Period. Whether that's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, or life. That's what he was looking at. If Harvey Weinstein got convicted of first-degree rape, he was looking at life in prison. Period. So if there's some woman out there who does that to a man, accuses him of first-degree rape, and you are lying, life. Bye. Try not to get raped where you're going. But that should be it. That should be the penalty. Watch those false accusations stop. Watch them, as my dad would say, watch them come to a screeching halt. You can't play with this shit. Because just as hard as we are on men who do it, we need to be equally hard on women who lie about it. That's fucked up. That's wrong. So we should do the same for them, and that shit would cease and desist like that. But old Weinstein, he's going to the booty house. Now, of course, he has money, so he's not going to be living, like a regular inmate. And even they probably won't even put him in general population. But if they did, he'll be protected. He has the money. There's people in there who will look past this crime for all the money he's going to give them. But he still has charges to face in California. That was just in New York. Those are his East Coast transgressions. Now you got to come out west and face what you did out here. And like I said, if he did this shit, throw the book at him, hang him, shoot him, drown him. I don't give a fuck. That's a horrible, disgusting thing to do to somebody. To take that from them, to violate them like that. That's horrible and disgusting, and death should be the only penalty. Period. You shouldn't serve time and then get out to do it again or live your life. Because the person you did it to, they don't get to live their life. It's not like, okay, he's in prison, I feel better now. No, all those memories are gone. I'm good. I'm back to normal. No, that never happens. So you need to die. Period. Who has a problem with that? And I'm not talking about, I was 18, she was 17. No. I'm talking about rape, sexual assault, big time. Felonies. You gotta go. Why is that not the penalty? Why do you just get time in prison? Why do we only have the death penalty for murder? You should get the death penalty for raping somebody. That's horrible. That's right there behind murder. Murder is number one. Rape and sexual assault is 1A. Why do we not have the death penalty for that? Because back in the day, a long time ago, rape was punishable by death. And it should have been. I don't know why we changed that shit. I don't know what pervert politician changed that. Maybe someone in the comments can let me know when that changed and why it changed. But it used to be punishable by death. Great. Let's bring it back. Everything's retro now, right? You got the kids wearing acid wash jeans and fanny packs. Let's bring that back. Let's bring back the death penalty. What's wrong with a good old hanging? Maybe drawn and quartered. The rack. Let's do it. Why not? You want this shit to stop? You want this shit to be no more? Let's crank up the penalty. Like I said about the women leveling false accusations. That shit would stop if they're facing the same time that their accuser was. And if you don't know who Tawana Brawley is, look that shit up. Disgusting. Terrible. She gets to ride off into the sunset. Same with Al Sharptongue. He was right there with her, pushing that bullshit. That is a horrible, terrible thing to lie about on somebody. But it's even more terrible to do it to somebody. Kill him. Now we'll see what like I said, he's facing 5 to 29 years. Let's hope he gets the 29 and it's a wrap. But where are all these All these disgusting Hollywood perverts who are snapping pics with them. Where are you guys talking about how horrible and terrible he is? Oprah? You're up there cheesing it with them. A few years back, you didn't know? Robert De Niro, you didn't know? When you would close down your pizza restaurant for Harvey to bring girls in after hours? You didn't know that shit? Where the fuck are you? Where the fuck is the outrage? From Hollywood, Hollyweird, Pervertsville. Where are you guys? You talking all this shit about Trump? He didn't do anything near as bad as this piece of shit. You just don't like him. You got all kinds of names and shit for him. Nothing for Harvey. You fucking scumbag pieces of shit. So we'll see how this plays out. This story's everywhere, and it should be. Oh, Harvey brought in the fucking walker. I saw that shit. I was like, what? You know his legal team has 3 names on the side of their building, and they said, look, Harvey, you're fucked, man, so we need to do everything we can to get sympathy from the judge. So here, we got this little walker for you. Let's put a couple tennis balls on the bottom and get to it. You go into the booty house, man. Just like Dave Chappelle said, nighty-night, keep your butthole tight. Oh, you're going to see how it feels, player. You better hope they don't have the same staff that worked at the Epstein prison, because those fools miss all kinds of shit. They must have fell asleep. You better hope they don't hire their security staff at that prison, because something's going to happen to you, player. Oh, shit. Let me get out of here, man, and wrap up my weekend. But you know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell, because every time it rings, a piece of shit liberal cries. Utilize the PayPal link and the Teespring link to get your green gear. Don't forget the Jericho green notification tone, fanatictones.com, link in the description box. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.